As the United States heads into the last really week of the presidential election in 2020, the energy in the country can really only be described as heavy, maybe even toxic. I think a lot of people are really feeling fatigued by all the mudslinging and going back and forth, and it feels like all we see are advertisements and debates where people are going back and forth and arguing about things all the time. And it's really tiring. I think we're all pretty exhausted at this point. And it's really an unfortunate thing because both sides of whatever your political persuasion, they both claim that they have the moral superiority for their beliefs. And so they disparage or attack the beliefs of the other side just so that they can win an election and start consolidating power and moving forward with their agenda. And it's my firm belief as a conscious leadership coach that it's really curiosity, not certainty, that is the key to progress. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about why I believe that and how that relates to politics. As it relates to politics and really life in general, but in particular politics as we're discussing it today, if one side is convinced that their beliefs are absolutely correct and the other side is absolutely incorrect, it leads to a really unhealthy tribalism that can divide people. And instead of fostering harmonious coexistence, it really drives people apart, which is what we're unfortunately seeing, especially here in the United States right now. And this is the very opposite of conscious leadership. And it's that conscious leadership that we need that's going to guide the world towards more harmony and more prosperity for all. And in fact, conscious leaders understand that they don't always have all the answers, and all of their beliefs aren't necessarily set in stone. They're open to being challenged and knowing that what they believe might not always be accurate. So they're willing to be open to opposing viewpoints and changing their mind. There's a really great quote from H.L. Mencken, who was an author, essayist, very famous American one. I'd like to share a quote from him, which I think is very relevant to this topic. In fact, reading this quote really got me thinking about how this applies to conscious leadership. And he said that moral certainty is always a sign of cultural inferiority. The more uncivilized the man, the surer he is that he knows precisely what is right and what is wrong. All human progress, even in morals, has been the work of men who have doubted the current moral values, not of men who have whooped them up and tried to enforce them. The truly civilized man is always skeptical and tolerant, in this field as in all others. His culture is based on, I'm not too sure. It's a really great quote, and I think it perfectly encapsulates the way that conscious leaders think about absolutes, being absolutely certain. Nothing is absolutely certain. I mean, we've seen so many examples in history of status quo beliefs about religion and science and cultural mores that have actually impeded really important advancements for humankind. It's only those who are curious and willing to challenge the status quo that are going to move society forward in a way that's going to benefit all of humankind. It is not easy, but it's necessary. We need conscious leaders who are humble and curious. These leaders are confident enough to invite challenges to their assumptions and beliefs. They're solution-oriented, and they're always looking for new ways of thinking about things. They realize that some of the most innovative thinking comes not from experts, but from those who think outside the box or look at things from a beginner's mind. They're also humble enough to constantly work on themselves in their own view of the world. I know that over the last few years, I've certainly been working on my worldview. I grew up having very adamant set beliefs about things, that moral certainty that H.L. Mencken was talking about. And I've been working on my own level of consciousness and questioning things and being open to new ways of being and doing things. It's truly, truly empowering. So perhaps you're already this year, based on everything that's going on, because this has been a very self-reflective year, maybe you are starting to question many of the systems and this is the way things are beliefs that no longer serve you or me or really any of us. So if your consciousness is expanding, and then you are really becoming a truly conscious leader. It's exciting to see that awakening happening. I can actually pinpoint some of the areas where this really started to happen for me over the last few years. That's a marker for you. You're becoming a more conscious leader. And I encourage you to think about coaching. As a conscious leader coach, I love to work with people on expanding their consciousness, on thinking about things in a different way. It's a really powerful way, engaging in coaching, to continue this growth and prepare yourself for a future where conscious leaders are going to transform the way we work, the way we live, and the way we relate. You really can continue to grow and expand your consciousness. It's not only essential for your own growth, but the progress of all humanity. If you'd like to learn more about this, you can go to my website, meredithattorney.com. If you want to read the article that this video is based on, you can go to my Substack, which is meredithattorney.substack.com. And of course, you can always reach out to me through my website, send me a note, comment on this video. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this idea. Maybe it challenges you. Maybe you'd like to talk more about it, or maybe you'd like to get some coaching for yourself and for your team as we step into the future of work and how we live and how we relate. Until our next video, I hope that you will work happy, live happy, be happy.